match number 2. I'm so used to saying game. It's match number 2, actually. This is going to be 2 Zerg players going up against each other, Smiley B and Xylo, and we are actually already loaded up in our map. I love it. Spawning here in the bottom right portion of Catalina. Once again, Catalina, our starting map. In blue from Team Unrivaled, actually one of the admins of the CTL. It's going to be Xylo.
And at the 9 o'clock position, in the red, the Zerg player from Team Composite, it is Smiley B. What do you think the B stands for?
It's Bone, actually.
Is it real? Oh, you already knew.
Yeah, his CTL username is Smiley Bone. So.
Right. Fair enough.
Actually, let's see. We have a Swede, Smiley, versus a Dutch person, Dutch guy, Xylo. We got a lot of countries represented. I think we have 4 different countries represented today. I want to say, yeah, because Roxas is German and BCX is from the UK. So.
Yeah,
that's cool to see. That's one of the fun things about doing these. And already, okay, that was just a double extractor trick.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a little non-standard.
Interesting.
Maybe
he's got a drone.
I think it's a bit of a mistake. Yeah, I don't think he meant to do that necessarily. Maybe a little bit nervous. You never know. I mean, these kind of things. Most players don't. A lot of players at this level, they don't play a lot of live matches. So it's a completely different feeling when you're playing a match that's completely live. You're getting judged immediately, rather than hours later or something. But I do think Smiley. I'm pretty sure he streams quite a bit, so he should be relatively okay. Both players actually going for a hatch first, so that's pretty ballsy in ZVZ to start off a best of 3 series. But I guess feeling confident that neither player is going to cheese in this first match.
Yeah, hatch versus ZVZ can be so difficult sometimes. You kind of just auto lose to like any kind of ZVZ aggression, and there's a lot of aggression coming around at the moment, especially with like Life getting real popular again. A lot of Zergs just trying to copy him, which is kind of impossible because it's Life, but everyone's just trying to go real early Ling Bang aggression. That's why I kind of just don't take catch versus CVZ anymore. It's just kind of asking to die.
It's rather scary. I'm pretty sure like just going 14 pool blindly is almost the only way that a lot of people can actually survive in a ZVZ. There's just so many different things you can actually possibly do in this matchup early on, and that early extractor issue and the drone not mining for a while, I mean, it's kind of put Smiley a little bit behind. The pools are timed pretty much the exact same, but Xylo already has 100 gas. He's already got speed on the way. He hasn't yet pulled out of gas, so he's still got decisions to make with that. I'm waiting to see, once Smiley actually gets up to 100 gas, if he's going to pull out of that, or if he's actually going to stay in his gas, as Xylo is doing. But I'm waiting to see at the moment. I mean, he's already got a few lings on the map, got 2 queens coming down for both players. So despite these early economic openers, there we go, Baneley Nest already down for Xylo here. And I don't think Smiley's going to be able to scout this out very easily, at least.
Yeah, something like Xylo wants to probably put on some aggression here. He's still got guys in gas as well. So there's 2 now. Taking 1 off, but he's not building any drones for the moment. Has a bunch of lava stockpiled. As there comes a couple more lings. 6 more on the way. These lings are going to get a scout off though.
These lings are going to be able to see everything. They should be able to get in. Actually, no, he's going to walk away. That's a bit upsetting. So he's not going to get in and actually see. Was Xylo going to save that? I thought he was going to save that drone for a second. He almost saved it, but those lings didn't see anything. Smiley is making his own Bailey Nest, but we already have 18 more lings in production now. Speed is finished here for Xylo. Smiley does have a lot of overloads set up in this attack path, so he's going to see all of these lings walking across, but they're going to be there pretty quickly, and unless Smiley actually walls off, I mean, he's trying to. It looks like he's got 1 queen. There we go. Second queen is going to be sitting at the ramp, but that's going to be really difficult for Smiley to hold his natural for a little while. May even have to evacuate these drones over here.
This Bailey Nest is in a hashtag dicey spot as well, right at the front. Xylo's already there. He's already got 6 banelings. He's got ling speed. If he can get this baneling nest, it's going to make this hold so much harder for Smiley. Oh, banelings wasting a few into the baneling nest. Still 4 alive though. They are chasing the drones. Gonna get a few. Gets a few lings. couple of these drones are super red. Lings are working in town, and the spine crawler's been a bit of a hero, but the queens do go down. GG called.
Wow,
That's
quick game number 1 there, going to Xylo. Just kind of, even with the miscontrol from Xylo attacking, what was that, like 4 Banes into the Bailey nest, he had enough left over. It was just, there was so little for Roxas to be able to defend with, so lose that first game. Smiley, wow, Zerg, they're all the same, totally. So a very quick game number 1 there. Our second map is gonna be Overgrowth. So we're going to get into that as soon as we can. It's kind of surprising to see that game go so quickly. But, I mean, ZVZ is a pretty volatile matchup. Like, I mean, did this stream even catch up to the beginning of the game? I mean, come on.
It's just that early game, like that extractor trick, really, really weird. Had a drone AFK for a little bit as well, not mining. Just kind of really put him behind. And then his Ling Scout didn't go into the base, changed his mind, so he didn't see the Bailey nest, and the guy's still in gas. So maybe a little bit of nerves coming out of Smiley here. It's kind of a big deal, this. Like, it's not just your ordinary CTL game or anything like that. There's a bit of pressure. There's quite a few people watching as well. So we'll see if he can turn around in game 2 on Overgrowth as well.
It's another smaller map. Actually, just kind of a note. I'm trying to think. The first map was technically Smiley's pick. The second map was Xylo's pick. Just the way the vetoes worked out, Smiley did veto first, so he did pick the first map as well. But, you know, in ZVZ and a mirror matchup, maps don't necessarily matter that much. It's kind of just your own comfort level, how you're able to deal with those. But we are getting into game number 2. I have to see if Smiley has calmed down a little bit. He's going to be able to have a little bit of a better showing here in this game. And spawning in the top right here of our map Overgrowth from Team Unraveled, up 1 game already. In blue, it is Xylo.
And in the bottom left, from Team Composite, in red, it is Smiley B.
Love the HD remake of the composite logo. Makes me happy.
Yeah, so much better. The old one was
they were
so
they were
bad.
literally using like a JPEG that was probably saved like 17 times before it actually made it to the Liquipedia upload. So it was pretty artifacted. So thankfully, it looks quite a bit better now.
Did Tux do that as well?
Yeah, Tux did do that one as well. Tux is also the one who made all the CSL logos that we do see, all the CSL overlays and etc. So shout out to him for doing that. What? Dude's a hero.
Yeah, he's a hero.
He's a hero, and he is playing. I think he's in group. I don't even know, group A.
He's in
F?
Group of Death, I'm pretty sure.
Group D maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know his group's brutal though. The people in it are really good. I think he's got the group with House Peddler, Ambrosia, and someone else who's pretty good as well.
Yeah, Silky, random player from Olin.
So, there we go.
It is Group D. So he's got a while. He still has until next Saturday, or next Friday actually, before he actually has to play. But we are in this game currently. Smiley is down 1 game. Doesn't want to fall down to that losers match, at least immediately. Xylo looking pretty strong in that first game. Just at least had a plan. I think having a plan is such a big deal in a setting like this. Just knowing what you want to do and doing it well is pretty well what you just need. All you need to do in something in a series like this. Because sometimes your opponent, they're not used to playing a best of 3. People are so used to just playing on ladder. It's rather easy to forget about the fact that sometimes you have to play more than 1 match at a time.
Against the same opponent, it's a different kettle of fish. I think playing in a best of 3 series, there's a lot goes into it, and sometimes you can overthink it as well. I know I've played some best of 3 series where you would think I'd win out and out against the opponent. I should be favoured, and then I overthink and try and do something. Oh, they're not going to expect this. Let's do this, and then I just fall on my face, kind of thing as well. So it goes both ways. But having a plan in StarCraft is pretty important because it's a pretty hard game as it is. So if you can kind of just cut one thing out, it's usually pretty good.
I just want to go back to something you said. Did you say a different what of fish?
Kettle of fish. Have you never heard of that?
No, of course I've never heard of that.
I think it's Australianism, maybe.
I hope so.
I've literally never heard that. I'm going to say, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Australians in chat. I know there's a couple of Australians from Unrivaled that were going to be here. Hopefully they'll back me up with my terrible sayings. that it's an actually existing thing. I'm not making stuff up.
Sure thing. Anyway, looking at our game, both players do have speed on the way, and both players are actually sticking in gas this time, so neither of them are going to be caught out by early banes in this game, but still a possibility, a probability, as we do see the baneliness already coming down here for Smiley. Once again, this is up front. I mean, I think this is pretty much the same thing he wanted to do last game. It's not that he really necessarily wanted to be a lot more aggressive in the previous game. It's just that the early game mishaps really put him in a rough spot. We see an early Roachborn here out of Xylo, and doing this means he's going to actually, well, he doesn't lose that drone, he does save it, make it turn into an extractor, and once again, Smiley choosing not to go up to the main base to actually scout. And if it's going to be a lot of Lings versus some Roaches here, I don't know, let's see if Xylo's going to be able to wall off decently. He does have 4 Lings actually walling off his natural lamp rather than any extra Queens, and once some Roaches get out, the Bane Ling attack, it looks like it's going to be coming from Smiley, isn't going to be able to get too much done.
No, Speedlings do fare well against Roaches in low numbers, but looks like Smiley just kind of wants to be defensive with these Banelings. Makes them at home instead of out on the map in front of Xylo's base. They're probably just looking to not die. Having said that, there are 12 more Lings in production against the 9 Roaches, which is the standard acceptable number of Roaches, if you ask anyone on Unrivaled. It's, can you just do the 9 Roach build? That's just what we do, apparently.
It's good to know, since All In is playing here now. Smiley did get in and see those Roaches with some Lings, actually canceled all the Banes he was making, and he's going to just walk in with his Lings. This is going to be a really awkward situation where Xylo's on the map with his Roaches, and Smiley is in his opponent's base with all of his Lings. Actually, the drones are just on hold position, being super annoying, and I think Xylo's going to try to clean this up with just his reinforcing Lings and use the Roaches as effectively as possible on the other side of the map. There are a couple Spine Callers coming in, and Smiley does have these 2 Banelings, and he's making as many Lings as possible. He's got his own Roachborn on the way, but the Roaches are over on the other side of the map here for Xylo, but at the same time he's only lost 3 drones so far, which is nice, but there's so much that's going to be in production right now for Smiley Beast. It's just going to be army right now. Nothing but Lings coming out for him, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get enough out quick enough to deal with all these Roaches.
There's a few Lings of Xylos here to help fight as well. There's a lot. His drones are being put off the line. He needs to get a surround. Oh, as I say, I think he should fight with these drones as best as he can. He needs to kill this army up, clean this army up.
Yeah, well, with fighting with the drones, it means the Lings aren't really getting too much actual damage done. It means a lot of these drones are going down. 14 workers went down there for Smiley, but actually that all it does is kind of just even it up here, the work count. But more and more Lings are rallying across the map, and these Roaches did so much work against the Lings that the reinforcing Lings coming from Xylo right now are probably going to be able to clean everything else up. It's kind of dependent if Smiley's going to have enough time to actually make some Banelings to deal with the Lings of Xylo or not, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Still even one Roach alive with 7 kills, trying to focus on the pool at the moment, and Smiley is it's looking a little rough for him right now, especially considering Xylo is back home, actually able to inject right now. No Queen.
Yeah, no Queens for Smiley. GG.
So Xylo is going to move on to the winners match. A very quick couple of games here. So our next series is going to be that winners match. It's going to be Roxas versus Xylo. Coming up shortly. Once again, going to take a short amount of time, just get the map vetoes done and everything else settled. We'll be back with our winners match once again.